The average LPGA Tour pro has a driver swing speed that is only 2.6 miles an hour faster than the average male golfer, who swings his driver at 93.4 miles an hour. So it is perhaps unsurprising that regular golfers do not pay much closer attention to the clubs LPGA players use compared to PGA Tour pros, who have average driver swing speeds of around 115 miles an hour. To address this, Golfing Focus decided to complete another comprehensive analysis of the most popular clubs the top 100 players in the LPGA Tour use, and in this video uncover what the most popular brands and individual clubs are among the best women pros. We also take a look at the most common club setup among this elite group, while at the same time highlighting some niche club selections made by a select few players. Welcome back to the Golfing Focus channel, everybody, and when it comes to the best LPGA Tour players selecting the clubs they use, there are obviously many options for them to choose from. But Golfing Focus's detailed research into the top 100 women pros on tour uncovered that Callaway clubs are the most popular, being played by Min-Jae Lee, Atthaya Thitikul, Ronnie Yin, Rose Zhang and Andrea Lee, among others. Ping, the choice of Alison Corpuz, Leona Maguire and Jennifer Kupcho, is the next most used brand. Only Titleist wedges break Callaway and Ping's dominance across all the golf club types on the LPGA Tour, while TaylorMade, Nelly Korda's sponsor, is only the 4th or 5th most used manufacturer across drivers, woods, hybrids, irons, wedges and putters, alongside Srixon. The best players in the LPGA Tour, however, clearly do not all have the same 14 club setup in their golf bag. And while Ping and Callaway clubs are the most popular, we wanted to take a detailed look at all the clubs used by the top 100 Tour players to find out exactly what clubs the majority of them prefer for every possible club choice. The best LPGA Tour players have access to almost any club they want. The main club manufacturers' tour trucks follow them across the USA to every tournament, with the latest models of clubs and shafts ready and available for them to use as and when required. There are therefore plenty of makes and models of clubs being used by the top female pros in the LPGA Tour, 40 different models of drivers, and 51 models of irons, for example, but our in-depth study of this elite group found the following in terms of the most popular club and setup choices among the top 100 LPGA Tour pros. The most common golf club setup used is made up first of a driver and 2 fairway woods, a 3-wood and a 5-wood. The top end of the bag is then completed with a 4 hybrid. The most popular iron set then starts with a 5-iron, all the way through to pitching wedge. 3 specialist wedges, a 50-degree gap wedge, a 54-degree sand wedge and a 58-degree lob wedge are then added to a putter to complete the set. While this setup was found to be the most common, it was also clear that other setups, particularly when it came to the longest clubs in the bag, found favour with a number of the top women pros. Some, for example, prefer a 3-wood and 7-wood combination for their 2 fairway woods. Others, meanwhile, opt to use only 1 wood and then 2, 3 or even 4 hybrids prior to starting their iron set with a 4-iron, 5-iron or 6-iron. Or there are the more niche cases of Yuna Nishimura and Azahara Munoz, who play 4 and 3 fairway woods respectively, together with 2 hybrids before their standard iron set begins with a 7-iron. Araya Junatanagar, meanwhile, continues to opt to leave a driver out of her bag altogether and chooses a 3-wood and a 2, 3 and 4 TaylorMade utility stroke driving irons instead. So as we can see, while there is a preferred club setup among the top 100 LPGA Tour players, there are other club choices that are chosen by several golfers, indicating how many options there are for players to experiment with. Despite an increasing number of golf manufacturers entering the golf market in the last couple of decades in particular, as we have already seen, Callaway is the dominant club brand among the golf clubs used by the top 100 players on the LPGA Tour. Callaway clubs are the most common club type across all the main club type categories, with the exception of hybrids and wedges, where they come in as the 2nd and 3rd most used brand respectively. When we last did this deep dive analysis a few years back, Golfing Focus found Ping to be the most dominant club brand. And although they now come in behind Callaway, they are clearly a popular choice among LPGA Tour pros. Further, it is interesting to note that Golfing Focus's comparable review of the most used clubs in the Champions Tour discovered Callaway and Ping again came out on top. However, when you look at Titleist's 3rd place position among the clubs used by the best LPGA Tour players, This compares to their top spot as the most popular clubs on the PGA Tour. TaylorMade and Srixon were then found to be the next most used brands among the top women pros, with a preference for TaylorMade drivers and woods compared to Srixon models being reversed when it came to irons and wedges. And although it is only based on a small number of users, both brands are a definite option when it comes to the LPGA Tour players opting to put a driver-stroke utility iron in their golf bag. The rise of PXG clubs up the popularity rankings when it comes to women pros seems to have faded, however, in the last couple of years. Our last comprehensive review noted their increasing presence among the clubs of LPGA Tour players, but that trend was shown to have stopped this time. This will undoubtedly have been influenced by the end or cessation of sponsorship contracts, but PXG clubs are clearly not as common on the LPGA Tour as they were only a couple of years back. Out with the main golf manufacturers, Golfing Focus's in-depth review also turned up some niche golf brands being used by the top 100 LPGA pros, particularly among their iron choices. Former major champion Ho Yo Kim, for example, was unique among the pros in her use of Yonex irons, while two-time major champion and former world number 1 Lydia Ko has opted to play a 5-iron to 9-iron set of Proto Concept irons since 2022. Jeanette Wanahasen and Arpachaya Ubal, by comparison, choose to use irons made by specialist iron and wedge manufacturer 14 Golf. So while Callaway and Ping clubs dominate, there are specific club types where many of the other manufacturers have particular specialisms, and this is also reflected in the club choices of LPGA Tour players. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please do hit that like button, and look out in our upcoming videos as we take an even more detailed look at the individual club types the best LPGA Tour pros are using. And finally, and most importantly as ever, we hope you're enjoying your golf.